Hi, greetings, true believers, and welcome to Marvel May 2024. Now, here's the thing. I'm only going to be looking at 3 movies this month, okay? Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and then The Marvels, okay? That's it, okay? I won't be looking at Deadpool and Wolverine, because that comes out in July, so that's going to wait till next year. And same thing with Captain America: Brave New World. Those movies I will be focusing on next year, okay? Everybody got that? Good, okay? Now, with the Thunderbolts, however, that movie is coming out May of next year. So, unfortunately, I can't review that movie because I don't want to give away spoilers, okay? So, my review of the Thunderbolts is going to happen in 2026, okay? Now, also, here's the thing, okay? I know that Captain America: Brave New World comes out, I believe, February of next year. However, given that, I'm pretty sure most everyone will have seen it prior to my review, okay? So again, but if there's one of the people who haven't seen it yet, then do not watch that review of Captain America: Brave New World until you've seen it, because again, I don't want to give away any spoilers, okay? So there you go, okay? Everybody got that? Good. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into my review of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Following the Avengers' battle against Thanos, Scott Lang has become a successful memoirist and has been living happily with his girlfriend, Hope Van Dyne. Scott's now teenage daughter, Cassie, has become an activist, helping people displaced by the blip, resulting in her having a strained relationship with her father. While visiting Hope's parents, Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, Cass reveals that she has been working on a device that can establish contact with the quantum realm. Upon learning of this, Janet panics and forcefully shuts off the device, but the message is received, resulting in a portal that opens and sucks the 5 of them into the quantum realm. Scott and Cassie are found by natives who are rebelling against their ruler, while Hope, Janet, and Hank explore a sprawling city to get answers. Hope, Janet, and Hank meet Lord Krylar, a former ally of Janet's, reveals that things have changed since she left, and that he is now working for Kang, the quantum realm's new ruler. The 3 are forced to flee and steal Krylar's ship. The Langs, meanwhile, are told by rebel leader Gentora that Janet's involvement with Kang is indirectly responsible for his rise to power. The rebels soon come under attack by Kang's forces led by MODOK, who is revealed to be Darren Cross, having survived his apparent death at the hands of Scott, and who previously received Cassie's message. Aboard Krylar's ship, Janet confesses to Hope and Hank that she met Kang when she was previously in the quantum realm. He claimed that he and Janet could both escape from the quantum realm if she helped him rebuild his multiversal power core. After they managed to repair it, Janet saw a vision of Kang conquering and destroying entire timelines. Kang revealed he was exiled by his variants out of fear, which drove Janet to turn against him. Outmatched, Janet used her Pym particles to enlarge the power core beyond use. Kang, having regained his powers, eventually conquered the quantum realm afterward. The Langs are taken to Kang, who demands that Scott help get his power core back or else he will kill Cassie. Scott is then taken to the core's location and shrinks down. In the core, he encounters a probability storm, which causes him to split into multiple copies of himself, nearly overwhelming him. Hope arrives and helps him acquire the power core. However, Kang reneges on the deal, capturing Janet with MODOK, destroying her ship with Hank on it. After being rescued by his aunts, who rapidly evolved and became hyper-intelligent after being pulled into the quantum realm, Hank helps Scott and Hope as they make their way to Kang. Cassie rescues Gentora, and they commence an uprising against Kang and his army. During the fight, Cassie convinces Cross to switch sides to fight Kang, with him eventually sacrificing his life. Janet fixes the power core as she, Hank, Hope, and Cassie jump through a portal home. Kang attacks Scott at the last minute. Before he can beat Scott into submission, Hope returns, and she and Scott throw Kang and the Pym particles into the power core, destroying them both. Cassie reopens the portal for Scott and Hope to return home. As Scott happily resumes his life, he begins to rethink what he was told about Kang's death being the start of something terrible happening, but brushes it off. In a mid-credits scene, numerous variants of Kang, led by Immortus, commiserate Kang's death and plan their multiversal uprising. In a post-credits scene, Loki and Mobius encounter another Kang variant, Victor Timely, at the Chicago World's Fair in 1893. Obviously set for Loki Season 2, so there you go, but yeah, anyway. So anyway, let's take a look at the production of this film, beginning with the development. Ahead of the release of Ant-Man and the Wasp, director Peyton Reed said there were elements of that film that left a lot to play with in a potential third film of the franchise. He highlighted the quantum realm, which was introduced in Ant-Man, and explored further in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Reed said they were just, quote, dipping our toes into it for the previous films, end quote. Just dipping our toes to it, end quote, for the previous films. Reed said that he and Marvel Studios were hopeful about a third film and had discussed potential story points for such a sequel. In February 2019, Hank Pym actor Michael Douglas confirmed that informal discussions regarding a sequel to Ant-Man and the Wasp had taken place, though by that time, Evangeline Lilly had not heard of any plans for a character Hope Van Dyne/Wasp following her role in Avengers Endgame. Lilly stated that, quote, Hope is mid-journey. I don't see her journey as being over by any stretch, end quote. That October, Michelle Pfeiffer expressed interest in reprising her role Janet Van Dyne in a sequel. When Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige was asked about the future of Paul Rudd's Scott Lang/Ant-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe following Endgame, he responded that, quote, the chess pieces were arranged very purposely, end quote, at the end of that film, and some taken off the board, and others, like Ant-Man, quote, still on the board, so you never know, end quote. Rudd was asked whether he would be returning to the role, either in a third Ant-Man film or as part of another Heroes MCU franchise, and said that both of those options had been discussed. Reed officially signed on to direct a third Ant-Man film at the start of November 2019. Rudd was set to star as Lang, with Lilly and Douglas also returning. The film was scheduled to begin in January 2021, with a likely release date in 2022. Reed was hired again, despite Marvel's interest in new filmmakers bringing different takes to the heroes for each film, because executives felt he had, quote, a real grasp on the Ant-Man universe and wanted to see him return to wrap up his trilogy, end quote. Jeff Loveness was hired to write the script for the film during, quote, the early days of Hollywood's shutdown, end quote, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and had begun working on the screenplay by April 2020. At that point, it was unclear when production would begin on the film due to the effects of the pandemic on all film productions. In August 2020, Reed confirmed that development on the film was continuing during the pandemic. He said that Lilly would continue to get equal billing in the film alongside Rudd, as she is a very, very important part of the partnership between Ant-Man and the Wasp, despite rumors that her role would be reduced following controversial comments about the pandemic. Reed added that the story for the film had been cracked, though nothing was official yet, and said the third film would be a bigger, more sprawling movie than the first two with a very different visual template. Reed stated that they wanted to further explore the quantum realm of the film as a massive world-building undertaking, comparing its design to electron microscope photography, heavy metal magazine issues in the 1970s and 1980s, and his favorite science fiction cover artists such as Jean Girard for fantastical realism. Marvel Studios producer Brian Gay said the film would feel like a real departure from the first two Ant-Man films and be a big adventure. Fellow Marvel Studios executive Stephen Brassard produced the film alongside Feige. And now on to the pre-production. In September 2020, Jonathan Majors was cast in lead role for the film, which was reported to be Kang the Conqueror. Because the actor cast as Kang would play an alternate version of the character named He Who Remains in the Disney Plus series Loki, Kate Hare and Michael Waldron, the director and head writer of Loki's first season respectively, were involved in casting Majors in addition to Reed and executives at Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios were eager to work with and cast Majors after seeing his performance in The Last Black Man in San Francisco, where Reed very supportive of approaching Majors. Majors was approached for the role without an audition, and later noted he had been involved in the film since the beginning before joining Loki. Reed was interested in having Ant-Man and the Wasp go up against a formidable foe in the film, believing Kang to be one of Marvel Comics' all-timers like Loki and Doctor Doom. In November 2020, filming was expected to start in 2021. The following month, Pfeiffer confirmed her involvement in that filming would begin in mid-2021, while she and Douglas both indicated that the film would be released in 2022. Later in December at Disney's Investor Day, Feige revealed the film's title as Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, confirmed the return of Rudd, Lilly, Douglas, and Pfeiffer alongside Majors as Kang, and revealed that Catherine Noonan had joined the film as Cassie Lang. Noonan originally auditioned for the role of Kate Bishop in the Disney Plus miniseries Hawkeye, before Haley Steinfeld was cast as the character. Emma Furman, who previously played the character as a teenager in Avengers Endgame, was saddened by the announcement of Newton taking over the role and hoped to be involved in the MCU in the future. Later that month, Loveness revealed that he had turned in the first draft of the script and said that Marvel had used the COVID-19 pandemic break to do something new and weird with the film. Loveness was inspired by several father and daughter films starring Steve Martin and Robin Williams from the 1990s, like Father of the Bride, Hook, and Jumanji, with Loveness feeling that because he admired all those father characters, he could mix the underdog dad hero with energy with wrestling ability to make it a through line for the film. Broussard described the film as a family adventure that becomes an epic sci-fi war movie and a coming-of-age story. On February 4th, 2021, Turkey's Minister of Culture and Tourism, Mehmet Ersoy, announced that shooting for the film had begun in the country's region of, and I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this, Cappadocia, but the production also set to film in other parts of Turkey. At the beginning of March, T.I. Harris was revealed to not be returning as his character Dave from the first two Ant-Man films. The news came after sexual abuse allegations against Harris and his wife, Tamika Caudill, arose at the end of February, but Variety reported that this was unrelated and Harris was never set to return for the sequel. In early May 2021, Marvel Studios announced that the film would be released on February 17, 2023. In mid-June, Rodden Douglas headed to England to prepare for filming. Shooting to capture exterior shots and background plays took place at the San Francisco Police Department Central Station, North Beach, San Francisco, on June 19th and 20th, with filming of the station's interior, the overview of the building, and downtown San Francisco. In July, Joanna Robinson and Vanity Fair reported that Corey Stoll, who played Darren Cross / Yellowjacket in Ant-Man, would appear in some shape for Quantumania. Reed planned to feature comedian Tom Sharpling again in the film, after his cameos in the previous two films were ultimately cut from the theatrical releases. However, the scene in which he would have been featured was cut before it was filmed. Anyway, now let's move on to the filming. Principal photography began on July 26, 2021 at Pinewood Studios of Buckinghamshire using the working title Dust Bunny, with William Pope serving as cinematographer. Industrial Light and Magic provided the same stagecraft virtual production technology Reed used while directing episodes of the Disney Plus Star Wars series The Mandalorian. Will Tite served as the production designer. Principal photography was previously set to begin January 2021, but was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It was then expected to take place between May 31st and September 24th. By September 16th, over 50 crew members from Pinewood Studios Productions, mainly Quantumania and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, contracted norovirus following an outbreak at the studio. The main cast was not affected. In October, the film's release was delayed to July 28, 2023. Later that month, Bill Murray revealed he had shot material for a Marvel film with Reed, which was believed to be Quantumania. Murray explained he joined the project as he liked Reed and his work on Bring It On, despite not being interested in superhero films, before he further indicated his involvement in the film, but said he could not comment on his prior statement. Murray later said he was playing a bad guy in the film. During the filming process, the screenplay was reportedly still being worked on at the same time, with multiple scenes involving Curry and Katie O'Brien's Gentora later being scrapped, resulting in Murray's character seemingly dying. Principal photography was completed in November 2021. The film was expected to take place in Atlanta, and the production was slated to move to San Francisco in 2022 with the cast. And now finally onto the post-production. In April 2022, the film was moved back to its February 17th release date, swapping places with The Marvels, given Quantumania was further along in production than that film. In September 2022, Randall Park was confirmed to be reprising his role as Jimmy Woo. If I could call the film a direct line into Phase 5 and the Phase 6 film of Avengers The Kang Dynasty, the majors attached to reprise the role in The Kang Dynasty. Reed said that Quantumania would have a profound impact on the MCU and that the impact of Kang's appearance in this film was discussed with Loveness for The Kang Dynasty, which he was also writing. Loveness felt that having Kang as the main villain of Quantumania would set up the dynamic story he was developing for The Kang Dynasty. Marvel Studios was not initially planning to have the multiverse saga, which comprises phases 4, 5, and 6, revolve around Kang, decided to after seeing Major's performance in the first season of Loki and the dailies while filming Quantumania. Reed also hoped the film would not be viewed as a palate cleanser. The previous two films had been following Avengers films, but instead would feel as big as an Avengers film. Greg Turkington was also revealed to be reprising his role as Dale, a Baskin-Robbins manager from Ant-Man. In October 2022, William Jackson Harper was revealed to be appearing in the film in an undisclosed role. In November, O'Brien was revealed to be appearing in the film alongside David Malkian. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Who portrayed Kurt in the first two films. After he said he was not involved in Quantumania. In June 2023, Dutch Malkian, Harper, O'Brien, Murray, and Stoll were revealed to be playing Veb, Quaz, Jintora, Lord Queller, and MODOK, respectively. Pickup shots of Brett occurred by then. The film's mid-credits scene sees the introduction of the Council of Kangs, particularly Mortis, Ramatut, and Centurion. These variants, all portrayed by Majors, discuss how the Conqueror had been killed and that the Avengers are starting to infringe on the multiverse and what they have built. This sees hundreds of other Kang variants filling in an arena, a shot reminiscent of the Council's first appearance in comics in the Avengers 292 from June 1988. The post-credits scene is footage from Loki Season 2, Episode 1893, with Majors appearing as Victor Timely, a Kang variant, and Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson reprising their respective Loki roles of Loki and Mobius. The film's main on-end title sequence was designed by Perception, who emulated the visuals of the quantum realm using fluid motion microscopic chemical reactions. The visual effects were made by Sony Pictures Imageworks, Industrial Light and Magic, Digital Domain, Moving Picture Company, Fan Design Plus Effects, Spin VFX, Rising Sun Pictures, Folks VFX, Barnstorm VFX, Base FX, Pixelmundo, Mars, Luma Pictures, Atomic Arts, Territory Studio, and Stereo D, with just James Chisholm as the visual effects supervisor. Due to the shifting release schedule of the film, the post-production period for Quantumania was reduced by 4.5 months, resulted in reported at least 10 rushed visual effects scenes being added at the last minute. Several visual effects companies that worked on Quantumania were also in post-production on Black Panther Wakanda Forever around the same time, which resulted in critical resources being diverted to focus on Wakanda Forever. Adam Gross and Laura Jennings co-edited the film. Disney spent $194.7 million during pre-production and filming, an additional $131.9 million on post-production 2022, for a total gross production budget of $326.6 million, which is over 63% more than an initially estimated $200 million production budget and exceeded that of Disney's internal projections for the budget. Disney also received a total reimbursement from the UK government of $50.6 million, which reduced the net budget to $276 million. In March 2023, Marvel Studios filed a request to issue a subpoena to Reddit to identify the person or group who was responsible for leaking the script and subtitle for the film in January 2023, the subreddit r/Marvel Studios spoilers, as well as a subpoena to Google since the leaked information had been uploaded to Google Docs. As a result of the request, r/Marvel Studios spoilers went private and became unavailable to the public. Good. So overall, I think this movie is pretty good. I mean, it's not like the best of these films, but overall, for an Ant-Man film, it's not that bad, and I actually kind of like it. So yeah. So overall, I give Ant-Man and the Wasp's Quantumania. I give it 3 arc reactors out of 5. Well, anyway, tomorrow we take the next film in the MCU Phase 5, which is, which is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So, until then, in the words of the late great Stan Lee, Excelsior!